Today we'll be talking about practicing strategies. You'll be able to choose the text that you use for this activity. So we're going to use two strategies we know that we've practiced in reading. So number 1 says you can take anything you have read from social studies, science, or English. Use the I think, I know, and I wonder strategy, and you will read and fill out 5 slides as you go along. For number 2, you can take any vocabulary words that you need to learn from social studies, science, or English, or even another class you're taking. It could be culinary. Use our vocabulary organizer to learn them and at least pick 5 words. Now, let me give you an example. So I'm going to use this one with a story that some of you have read for English called The Scarlet Ibis. So I'm going to get out of presentation mode so that I can write on these slides, and I'm going to share this story with you. So I'm going to imagine that I could have 2 screens up. I could be reading my English work on one screen, and I could flip-flop back. All I did was insert a slide in mine just so I had it with me. So let me read a little of this, and then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. Okay. Summer was dead, but autumn had not yet been born when the ibis came to the bleeding tree. It's strange that all this is so clear to me, now that time has had its way. But sometimes, like right now, I sit in the cool green parlor and I remember Doodle. Doodle was about the craziest brother a boy ever had. Doodle was born when I was 7 and was from the start a disappointment. He seemed all head with a tiny body that was red and shriveled like an old man. Everyone thought he was going to die. So right away, I have some thoughts right there. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to write. So I wrote, I know he has some kind of sickness, right? Because I think he's going to die. And then I'm wondering why he's called Doodle. That's a very unusual name, right? And up at the top, I don't have an I think yet. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to go back to what I was reading. Okay, here we go. Daddy had the carpenter build a little coffin, and when he was 3 months old, Mama and Daddy named him William Armstrong. Such a name sounds good only on a tombstone. Wow. So for that, I think they don't think he's going to improve. For some reason, they don't think he'll get better. So what I would do next is I can make a copy of the slide, or I could have made it before, right? So it was blank. And then I'm going to keep reading. I'm going to have at least 5 of these slides done for my one story. That's an example of using I think, I know, I wonder for that. Now I'm going to go on and show you a different number 2. So for number 2, I'm going to use this. Now remember, you have to insert your own text box for this. So I'm going to use a social studies text. Now this social studies text is about Buddhism. So I'm going to skim and scan my eyes and look for a word that I just don't know. Now this one is going to be different. So, the Eightfold Path. Oh, the word nirvana. What do these words mean? All right, which one will I pick? I think I'll start with nirvana first. So I'm going to insert a text box. Right, I'm going to write the word nirvana. Okay, really doesn't matter. You just throw it right there. And then I'm going to find the definition in my own words. So let's see. Let's look up nirvana. And I looked up the Eightfold Path too before. I think that's another good choice for this, nirvana. Okay, in Buddhism, a transcendent state in which there is neither suffering, desire, nor sense of self. Okay, let's look on this side too. Let's see if I see a state of perfect happiness or an ideal place. So it's an ideal place. It's a great place with perfect happiness, no suffering or desire. Okay, so I'm going to go back and say a perfect place with no suffering or desire. Like you don't want anything, right? It seems like you don't need a single thing. So I'm going to write here and write like state of happiness or feeling of happiness. Remember, these are some characteristics or further ways to explain it. Painless. Almost seems like carefree, like you don't have to worry about anything. What are some examples of that? So you can almost put your own perfect place, you know? So for you, your perfect place could be a quiet room. If you believe in heaven, right, it could be a place like that, right, is almost what they're saying. The opposite would be something that would be an awful place to be, right? So whatever is an awful place to you. In some religions, right, this makes me think of like hell would be the opposite, right? Something like that. Okay. So this is what you would be doing. Then you would make another copy of the slide. If you can do it before so it's blank, it will help you. And then you'd work on maybe the Eightfold Path or a different word that you find that you don't know. This is really good for science and social studies as organizer because it helps you understand the word a little bit deeper. If you have any questions, please ask. And again, pick one of the strategies to use today.